have thought about that trail of wax every day since. How something so small, so easy to miss, was the only reason we found him in time. Whoever took the king didn't want to be seen using the front halls, which meant they knew this palace almost as well as Mama Odara did. We didn't wake the guards. Not yet. Isioma's instinct, and it turned out to be the right one if Nnamdi had allies inside the palace. We had no way of knowing which uniform they were wearing. The lower corridors of that palace hadn't been used in years, except, apparently, by people who needed somewhere no one would think to look. These tunnels are older than the current palace, Dayo whispered. My father showed me maps of them once. He said they led to the river. Your father? I said slowly. Why would a prince's father have maps of tunnels under someone else's palace? He didn't answer right away. And in that silence, I felt something cold settle in my stomach that had nothing to do with the tunnel air. Your father isn't from this kingdom at all, is he? Isioma said quietly. It wasn't really a question. Isioma had stopped asking questions she already knew the answers to. My father is Duke Ekundayo of Owamiri, he said finally. I was sent here as a boy to be raised close to the throne. I was told it was an honor. The letter, Nnamdi's letter, addressed to a kingdom I didn't recognize. I hadn't recognized it because I'd never heard its name spoken by anyone but Dayo, just now, for the first time. Whatever you're thinking, Dayo said quickly. I promise you, I did not know. I would never. I wanted so badly to believe him. I still do. I just couldn't afford to. Not yet. We kept moving. Whatever was true about Dayo's father would have to wait. The king was still somewhere ahead of us, and every minute mattered more than my doubts. We found him exactly where the wax trail ended, alive, bound, and staring straight at Chief Advisor Nnamdi with the expression of a man who finally understood exactly how long he'd been betrayed. Nnamdi didn't look startled to see us. If anything, he looked almost pleased, like the last piece of his plan had just walked in on its own. I did wonder, which of you would find the letter first? Nnamdi said. I confess, I was hoping it would take a little longer. Don't listen to him, the king called out, his voice raw. Whatever he offers you, it is already a lie before he finishes saying it. But Nnamdi wasn't looking at the king anymore. He wasn't even looking at me or Isioma. He was looking at Dayo, like he'd been waiting his entire plan for this exact moment to speak to him directly. Whatever Nnamdi was about to say to Dayo, I understood one thing already. It wasn't a threat, it was an offer. And offers, in my experience so far, were always more dangerous than threats. Your father sent me a question 3 months ago, and Nnamdi said to Dayo. He wanted to know if his son had grown into someone willing to claim what should have been his. I had spent months learning to see through Dayo's performances. In that moment, for the first time, I had absolutely no idea what I was looking at. This kingdom has no true heir, Nnamdi said. 2 girls the river spat out, and a king too sentimental to rule without guilt weighing down every decision. Owamiri could absorb this kingdom peacefully, Dayo, through you, through marriage. No war, no bloodshed, just succession. And if he refuses, Isioma demanded. Nnamdi didn't even look at her when he answered. That, more than anything he said, told me how little he thought her opinion mattered to his plan. Then Owamiri comes anyway, he said simply. Only with soldiers instead of a wedding. I would much rather it be a wedding, Dayo. Wouldn't you? Dayo looked at me like a man standing at the edge of something he'd never known was there his whole life. I didn't know what I wanted him to say. I only knew that whatever he chose in that chamber would be the truest thing about him I had ever seen. You raised me to be kind to strangers so that one day I could betray the people I actually grew to love, Dayo said quietly. I understand the plan now. I am simply not going to finish it. For the first time since Chief Advisor Nnamdi had entered this story, I watched him lose control of his own face. Then you were always going to be the harder way, he said, and the room stopped being a negotiation. Everything happened at once. Dayo fighting, Isioma cutting the king free, and me standing there for one useless second, wondering what a girl made of river water was actually supposed to do in a sword fight. I didn't decide to do what happened next. My hand moved the way it had moved toward the empty box days ago, before I told it to. The water didn't rise around all of us this time. It knew exactly who it wasn't protecting. For 3 generations, that river had been treated like a debt to be feared. In that tunnel, for the first time, I understood it could also be a death that chose sides. Nnamdi didn't stay to see how the fight ended. Whatever else was true about him, he was clever enough to know exactly when he'd already lost. The king lived. Nnamdi's soldiers fled or surrendered, and somewhere in that chaos, Dayo had made his choice without a single moment of hesitation. I looked down at my hand, still faintly glowing in the dark. For 17 years, I had been told I was hiding something dangerous. That night, in that tunnel, I finally understood I wasn't hiding a danger. I was the answer to one. If you made it this far, comment the answer if you think Dayo made the right choice. And tell me, if you were Tolani, would you have trusted Dayo after everything, or would you have walked away? Don't forget to like, subscribe to Moonlight Tales by Joy, and share this story with someone who loves unforgettable African mystery and folklore.